Well, hello everyone. Thank you for chiming in again today. My name is Jackie Wilson and welcome to Let's Heal Together. Today we're going to talk about emotionally unavailable. I'm sure you all have heard about that. So now we're going to talk about it. And even if you haven't, I'm going to share some great information with you today. So after this broadcast, we're going to know everything there is to know about emotionally unavailable, okay? It happens with so many different individuals and we may not understand why that person is responding that way in that relationship because they're probably dealing with being emotionally unavailable. So let's find out what that is. So let's look at what Webster says. So Webster says, in terms of emotions, it says that it's a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with other people. Okay, so now we know what that is. Now also let's look at what does it mean to be available. So Webster says available means present or ready for immediate use, accessible, obtainable. So, and free and able to do something at a particular time. So that's what available means. Now, if you put those two together, then we look at that means that that person should be in a state of mind of being free or being available or being obtainable, correct? Okay, so now let's look at what the definition of emotionally unavailable is. It says it's a term that's usually referred to others who create barriers around themselves and others in an effort to avoid emotional intimacy. Relationships with emotional unavailable people are often depressing and distressing as their partners end up feeling neglected, unloved, and unwanted. Emotionally unavailable partners or people will actually seek out relationships with other people, but the problem is being with the other person, they're not ready to commit fully into that relationship, but they want the benefits. So if we talk about what that means for a person to be unavailable, I'm going to keep this over here because it'll give me a little bit more light. But when we're talking about emotionally unavailable individuals, I actually dated a couple guys that were emotionally unavailable. I want to tell you that was some of the most difficult relationships to have because I'm a person, I'm very social, I want to talk, I'm very communicative type of a person. I want to get out, I want to be out and about and doing different things. I love spontaneous, just being able to just get up and go to different places. But when you're dealing with somebody that's emotionally unavailable, they're not ready to commit to a relationship, but they want the benefits of the relationship. So they want to be around you, they want to spend time with you, they'll want to do that, but it's on their terms. It's never going to be on your term of what you want. It's going to be on their terms. When they are available to see you, to hang out with you, then that's when they'll spend time with you. They're not going to want to get too connected with you because they don't want to be intimate with you on an emotional basis, okay? So they'll want to, be intimate with you, in that type of way, but not emotionally intimate with you. So it's going to always be some type of disconnect. You'll find it more so if you're dating somebody that's in a different state. That's a great way for that person to be unavailable because they're in a different state. They don't have to see you all the time. They don't have to be around you. They don't have to spend time with you because they're in a different state. So those kind of relationships are not always healthy to have when you're trying to have a long distance relationship, because how can you really connect with that person if you're not spending that time around those individuals? It's going to be difficult to keep that relationship going, keep it alive, keep it fierce, keep it spicy because you're not around that individual. So it is going to be challenging. Now, if you happen to be living in the same state with the person and he or she, is always making excuses as to why, they can't come around or why you can't, spend time with that individual, they're either always busy, they're going to put their career before you and before anybody else because that is for them, that's their barrier, is if they can, have a career and they're, keeping that career in front of or keeping it separated from you and what they're doing. They're going to always be busy. It'll be people that are so focused on their career or so focused on a project that they're working on, and then that's keeping a wedge between the two of you because they're so focused on being a part of that particular part of their life that's so more important to them, more dear to them than having that relationship, that intimate, emotional relationship with you. Now, they'll want to spend time with you, but it's going to be at a benefit for them where they're going to You're going to be intimate with them, either it's spending time or, maybe going out to eat, a special event or something like that. But when it comes to them, they're going to keep, as I said before, a barrier between the two of you because they don't want you to get too close, okay? So that is why it's going to feel like you're in a relationship by yourself. You're going to feel as though you're unwanted, unloved, because that individual only wants to see you on their terms. If you're in that kind of a relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship where the person isn't connecting with you emotionally, they're maybe not sharing with you about how they're feeling, they're not communicating effectively with you about how they feel about their emotions themselves, or maybe a certain situation, they're not communicative with you. That has a lot to do with because they're emotionally unavailable and they don't want to connect with you because they don't want you to get into them and get to know more about them, get more into who they are as a person and how they move, and the things that they like and what they don't like, because sometimes they may not even know that for themselves because they put this barrier around and they're only focused on one area. So the other areas go lacking. So if you're in a relationship with someone like that, I can tell you from experience, it's going to stay that way because that individual, first off, has to admit that he or she has an issue with being emotionally unavailable. If they're not willing to accept that they have an issue with being emotionally unavailable, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to continue to have that same type of relationship with them year after year after year. But you're going to be on the other end, feeling unloved, feeling unwanted, feeling isolated, feeling stressed and depressed, and you're going through all of these different emotions because you're dealing with someone that has disconnected themselves emotionally from you. So just something to kind of think about, when you talk about dealing with people that are emotionally unavailable. Now, when we talk on our next video, I'm going to share with you what different forms or different signs to look for an individual that is emotionally unavailable. Okay, so today we just talked about what it is. But next week we're going to actually we're going to go a little bit more deeper into what it is. We're going to go a little bit more into the different signs. I just kind of wanted to pique you guys' interest today and just share a little bit with you. But on next video, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about it. And I'm going to give you some more examples of what emotionally unavailable people look like, okay? And then as we go on, I'm going to do a video as well that's going to talk about, or is going to ask you the question, are you emotionally unavailable? And what to look for, okay? So stay tuned. Continue to keep watching. I greatly appreciate you guys' support that you're watching me. Please like and subscribe. I always like to say share because I used to do these on Facebook, but please like and subscribe to my video, and that way I can continue to keep bringing some great content to you as well, and then you'll continue to keep learning some great information when we talk about Let's Heal Together on this show. So thank you very much for joining in. You all have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you on another video. Bye-bye.